Hi beloveds, how are you doing today? Hope all is well. Wanted to talk to you about the kind of moves that you can make when it comes to searching for a new job, a new position and whatnot. What are the four kind of moves you can make? There's probably more, but I'm just going to focus on four to kind of keep it simple, okay? So we're going to talk about those four moves and then how they can impact the way you apply and also how long that it can take you to secure that new position in the new place. So here we go. The first kind of move is to get a similar job to the one that you have now in a different company, okay, within the same industry. So all you're doing is, let's just say you're a human resources person. You're getting another HR job within the same industry that you're in, just at another company, okay? And let's say the second kind of move you can make is the same kind of job, let's say you're doing HR, but in a different industry. So let's say right now you're doing HR in the federal government and you're moving from the federal government to healthcare. So you're doing the same job, but you're moving to a different industry, okay? The third one is to get a different job, but in the same industry. So let's say you're in human resources in the federal government. A different job in the same industry would be, instead of being HR, let's say you want to move to IT. So you're doing IT, but you're sticking with the same industry. So moving to a different job, but within the same industry. And then the final one is, let's say you want a new job, a different kind of job than the one you have now, and in a different kind of industry. All right, so those are four different kind of moves you can make. Now, when you're looking for a similar job, just in a different industry, or a similar job in the same industry. Let's say, again, if you're in HR, you're moving from maybe one federal bureau to another. You're going to do HR in the federal government, just in a different agency. So those kind of moves, when you're doing the same job in the same industry, those are the easiest moves to make. They are often the quickest moves you can make. And all this is important because, you know, you could have a bad work situation. Maybe you don't get along with your supervisor. Maybe the commute is really tough or whatever it is. If you just want to kind of get out quickly, that is the quickest way to do it. Same kind of job, same industry. You're just moving bureaus or agencies or companies or whatever, okay? Easiest, quickest kind of job transition to make. Now, if you're trying to move to a different job completely, you know, from HR to IT, from whatever you're doing to something completely different, and you want to change industries, you want to go from the federal government to healthcare, or you want to go from retail to higher education, whenever you're completely changing, that is going to take more of an intense search, and it's usually going to take longer. So when the more kind of things that you're doing differently, if you're changing jobs, changing industries, you know, changing the kind of functional work you do, that's going to take some really deliberate planning around your cover letter and your resume. For example, if you're doing the same job, but you want to change industries, and your cover letter, you're going to want to explain why you want to change industries and how your skills transfer to that industry, okay? And if you're gonna change jobs and industries, if you're gonna do that number four, the one that's gonna probably take the longest and be more challenging, you're gonna, again, really need to strategically take a look at your resume. You may find that there are some gaps in terms of your experience and education, what you need to make that transfer. So your job will be to fill in those gaps. And on your resume and cover letter, make sure that it's very clear to the person reading it that there are no gaps, or you're already working on those gaps, but basically that you can do that work that's very different than what you've been doing and in a different industry, okay? So these are some things to think about. And these are things that I'm happy to help you with. So if you have any questions about this, put them in the chat. Let me know what you think, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.